Hi everyone, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I am here with just a quick tutorial I've been creating. I had some papers and I thought, what can I do with them? And I thought I'm going to make a signature piece that will fit inside the signature of a junk journal. So after playing around a bit, this is what I've come up with. And it's just a nice little piece that's going to fit inside of a signature. So if you imagine that your junk journal is going to be in here, and then this is going to be part of it. So it's just a little journaling spot on the front that opens up like so, and then this is a pocket here, so you can put lots of bits of ephemera in, and this will be the spine of your journal. And then you open it up and you've got a nice big pocket here for putting nice big pieces of ephemera, and then another little pocket here to put some little bits and pieces in, and then it's exactly the same on the other side. So you've got a nice big pocket here, and you could make some really big journal cards to go in there, and then when you close it on the other side it's the same. It's a nice journaling spot, and again another pocket where you can pop your bits and pieces. So it's pretty simple. It's made of 4 pieces of paper. Now the size of your paper is up to you, what you want to use. I'm using these because I just had some left over and I thought they're such beautiful paper, and I was going to use them inside a signature, but I thought, well, how can I use them and create a feature of them? So this is what I came up with. So these pieces that I've used are, I think they're 20 centimeters, just over 20 centimeters square, which is, if I can just figure that out, yeah, they're 8 by 8 squares. So these are your 8 by 8s. You get your 6 by 6 books, which are the smaller ones, and these are the 8 by 8s, and then you've obviously got your 12 by 12s. Now this isn't card, it's paper. It would be a bit more difficult because as it is, this is it's not chunky, but it's thick because of all the different layers. So I think using a scrapbooking card would be a bit too thick. This is actual paper, so it's a personal choice. I wouldn't use the scrapbooking card, I would stick with the paper. But anyway, it's a nice little piece, so let's get on with it. So you pick 4 pieces that you want, and all I've done is I've put 2 together, and obviously these are blank on one side, so I've just put the 2 blank sides together, and I've run a line of stitches down here and here. But you could glue these quite easily. You don't have to do the stitching, so literally just stitch in there, stitch in there, so it's like open, and that creates a nice big pocket. And obviously, if you were to just leave it like this, then things would just fall through. But because we're going to fold it and it's going to be in the center of the signature, once that's in the signature and it's sewn in, then your pocket's going to be closed off. So first of all, I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put that on the outside because I like this one. Because if you notice on here, you do see a bit of this paper, but the one that you're seeing the most of is on the inside. So I would put your prettiest paper on the inside, and for me it's this one. So I'm going to just close this and get my bone folder. And I mean, you get these packs of papers and they've got some beautiful papers in, and yeah, they look pretty when you put them, just use them inside the journals, but I wanted to do something a little bit more than just stick them in as a piece of paper. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop on the inside, I'm going to pop a little divot for our pocket, just so you can see it's a pocket. Doesn't have to be perfect, you just want your nice little divot. And I'm just using this. You could cut this in if you want. If you were going to cut it in with scissors, I would say do it before you sew it or glue it together, because then it'll just be easier. So there we go, we've got a nice little divot in, and you can see I haven't got them the same height and I haven't got them the same depth, but don't worry because it's going to be inside your signature, so you won't see that. So if you imagine that's another page inside your signature, you're going to see, I'll open that, and then you'll open that, and then you'll open that. I mean, you could put these in the centre signature. I've never thought that, actually. They would look nice in the centre of a signature, in which case, you know, it's up to you if you want to measure all this up and get your divots the same. I'm really not that bothered. Now, this next stage is, like I've always say, you know, I love to ink, so I'm going to ink mine. So let's just get a bit of ink on. And it can, you know, you can take as long or as little as you want on this. It's a personal choice. I like these papers inked because I just think it gives them a little bit more depth. They are very pretty papers, but I like them inked just to give them that extra edge. And because you'll probably be able to see a little bit of this spine on the inside, because this is a much lighter paper, I'm just going to ink down where it's going to get sewn in. You're not going to see much of it, but you will be able to tell it's been inked. And when it comes to this little divot, simply put a bit of ink inside. There you go. And I think it helps to age these, especially depending on what kind of junk journal you're going to be putting them into. The thing is, you could make up a few of these, and then you've always got a few ready to go into your junk journals. Forgot to do that a little bit. I could hear you shouting. Right, so that's our first piece. Now, the next piece, we've got these two other pieces. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down, because I don't want the little flip out. So this piece here, I don't want it to be the full height of the page. You could do it that way if you wanted to, and that's up to you. I want to make it a bit smaller because I just think it, you know, it showcases this paper a little bit more, and I think, you know, it just gives you a little bit of definition and a little bit more interest. So I'm just going to get the cutter, and I'm back to using Big Henry. Right, I'm just going to put these together, make sure there's no direction on them when you cut them, obviously, and then I am just going to put them down to about 15. So in inches, it's 15 centimetres, just under 6 inches. And that way it's going to look great in your journal. So actually, I need to get the cutter out one more time, because these bits that you've cut off, these can now become pockets. So what I would do, you can measure them if you want. I kind of eyeball them because I want the pockets to be here on both sides. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to about there. Like I said, you can measure them all up if you want. There we go. So pop them aside. Now you can use your scoreboard for the next bit, but as you know, I'm a fly by the seat of the pants girl, so all I'm going to do is put the two edges together and put a little nick where I know the centre is. So that's the centre. Now I'm going to fold these in to the centre, and hopefully if your paper is square, it's all going to line up. And then you just bring your edge together. See, it's nothing too complicated, it's just simply matching two edges together and then folding. So now what you've got is you've got a gateway fold, and that's just going to be your little piece that's going to become a pocket, and it's also going to become your journaling spot. I would say that, you know, because this is the way this is made, you obviously, your journaling spot's going to be across here, so this would probably be a good piece in a journal that has a journaling board, a writing board, because you want to be able to make sure it's flat. So I'm just going to make sure that's fully burnished and folded. There we go. And I'm going to do the same with this other piece. And like I said, as long as your paper is square, you should be okay. I've got so many of these beautiful pieces of paper, and I'm always trying to come up with new ways of using them that's unique and pretty, and a way of showcasing these gorgeous papers. I mean, look at that, isn't that beautiful? So now we've got our 2 gatefolds. So we've got these as well. So we've got 2 pieces that we could use as tags, and then we've got our 2 pockets. Now I am going to just put a little rounded corner on these because I just want that nice finished look. You don't have to do it, you know, if you want to keep it just square, then that's fine. You could round the whole piece if you wanted to. Again, it's personal choice. And I'm also going to cut a little divot in. So I don't want to go too deep. There we go. And there we go. Now these are just going to sit on the inside of this page. So you could basically, you can make up any configuration you want. You could use one of these pieces and have a long tuck pocket, you know, that's going to mirror this piece. Or you could just do what I've done and have the 2 little pockets. Or you could have like a succession of little pockets. You know, it's up to you how you want to use this. I'm only doing the 2 little ones because I love this paper so much. I want to showcase the paper. So while I'm on cornering everything, I'm just going to corner these as tags. That's if I can get the corner around it to work. It's a really great corner round of this, but sometimes it depends on the weight of your paper. It can be difficult to find your angles. If you've ever struggled with that, you'll know exactly what I mean. Right, now this piece again, you know, this is an optional bit. You don't have to use these if you don't want to use samey, or like I said, you could use these for further pockets. It's just completely up to you. There we go. Right, I'll put them aside because we don't need them right now. Get all these pieces gone. Now I'm going to just put these on first. So I'm going to do me inking round here. Again, the same as the rest of the piece. And even on darker pieces, you can still tell it's been inked. You know, it just gives it that nice aged look, because you're covering the white edge of the paper as well where it's being cut, even if you can't see the full effect of the ink. Right, now sticky glue. I'm just going to go around the 3 sides. You can, if you wanted to, sew these on. You'd have to do that before you sew the 2 sheets together, or you can sew around them, like sew around the pocket itself and then stick it on if you wanted that stitched effect. You know, that's again, that's an aesthetic thing, something that you can decide on when you're making them. I've no doubt that once you get into making these, you're going to be the same as me and coming up with all sorts of configurations. Because they're a lovely thing to make, and like I say, you know, you get to showcase your lovely papers. So that's the actual signature part made. Now this is the next part. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this on, but we're not going to stick it all the way back. We're going to bring it out a little bit, and what that's going to do is going to create a pocket here. And it means we've got all this extra journaling space, and we've got another nice decorated piece on the inside. So let's get this inked. I hope everybody's fine. I hope you're all well. we're having, we've had some lovely weather. I've got to say, we've had some gorgeous weather. But at the minute, we're in the middle of a rainstorm and it is freezing. And for the first time since, well, for a few months, I've actually got the fire on. Go figure, eh? It is the middle of, well, it should be the English summer. Yeah. England is notorious. By tomorrow it'll be stunning sunshine again. It's, you know, it's one of them things, and you can't predict it. It's not, there's no way you can predict it. Now before I stick that on, I'm just going to ink the inside as well, because it's much easier to do before you stick the piece on. You could, if you wanted to, you could use a stencil on this white if you wanted to decorate it. I'm actually going to leave it as white because I think the ink in itself gives it a little something, but also, you know, I'm trying to accept the white. It's something I'm working on. You know, sometimes seeing white paper, it just makes me think that has to be aged, it has to be decorated. No, you know, sometimes it has to be just left alone. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. So we've been having we've had some fun just lately. I had a lovely evening down on the beach with my sister, Mandy. Hi Mandy. We took some wood down for a fire. And we sat on the beach and watched the sun go down and just chatted, and it was so nice. We had our blankets and our hot chocolate because it gets a little bit chilly on the beach on an evening, and yeah, it was so nice. It was just to be able to chill without a TV on, without people coming in and out, without a phone going, just sitting on the beach watching the waves, chatting and watching the sun go down. And we got visited by dolphins, so the dolphins were frolicking just off the beach. We could see them jumping about in the waves. They've been around quite a lot just lately. In fact, they've been in the bay where I swim. I haven't seen them, but a few swimmers have got photographs with them. They like to come and swim with the swimmers. So yeah, it's been fun to see them, and they were jumping about all over. Right, so now the next step, you want to decide how deep you want this to be. So I've been going about, I'd say about 1 centimetre past the middle of the gatefold, and then that way it's not too big in the journal you're going to put it in. Now if I could find a piece of paper, give me 1 second folks. I'm just looking for a nice piece of, so I'm going to fold this over, and imagine this is the general size of a general journal cover. So this is an A4 piece of paper folded in half. So you don't want it to come too far over because it's going to be sticking out. So I find that if you do it about a centimetre before the centre, then you've still got this extra room, you know. So if you, when you put your journal signature together, you're going to have it bulks out a little bit and some of the pages get pushed forward. So if you give yourself a little bit of room, it doesn't matter if it bulks out, because this is a page where you're not going to be able to trim any off, so you don't want to have to trim anything off. So the way I've been doing this is to just eyeball where I want it. You can measure this if you want, because you know me, I am an eyeball type of crafter. So what I'm using my mat to measure it all up to get it straight, and then I'm just going to put a little mark there and there, and that's going to give me my line for my glue. So about up to 1 inch to 1 centimetre before you get to the middle fold, line it all up, put your little marks on the back. Now flip it over. Now you're going to put your glue, so let me get this right, you're going to go here, here and here. That's why you need to know where this line is. So you need a flat edge, which, where is my flat edge? There we go, I've got it. So find your marks and put your flat edge just before those marks, and that's going to give you your line. So that's the bottom of your pocket, so we want to put the glue just before that line. And I know mine's a bit squiggly. And then take that off. We're going to go up these sides. Right? And that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to line this back up because I want this to be, you know, I want it to be as close as I can. So let me just think about, that's it, yeah. So I'm going to line this up with those 2 marks that I made, and that should make sure that everything is square. Now, like I said, you can eyeball this if you want. I did with the first one and it turned out great. If you want to get it equidistant from the top, then you know, you just put some more marks on or line it up with your board so that you know exactly where things are. And now that's stuck on, so it's stuck here and it's stuck here and here, and you've now got your little pocket there. So if we open that up, that's the back, and now we need to do the one on the front. This one's a little bit easier because you've got this as a guide. So what I would say is just line it up with the other one, put your marks on, and that's where your line of glue is going to go. So there's one mark, there's the other. I'm going to go just past them so that I can put my line of glue without getting it all over my rule. There we are. Okay, try and do a less squiggly line this time. Make sure I get plenty on because I want that pocket to be nice and secure. I don't want it suddenly coming open. This tacky glue is really good, it really is, you know. It's once it's on, that's it, it's on, you know. Make sure you get it on the right way the first time. And now I'm just going to line this up again, and that way I know I've got them both perfect. Well, I've got them both the same. Make sure my glue's all nicely secured. And there we are. And now you can see you've got that nice paper on this side, so when you open this you've got just, it's another level of decoration, and because we've put these opposite, you've got the opposite decoration. So if you imagine, here's our journal pages, this is going to be on the journal pages too. You're going to open that up, and then you're going to have the opposite colour there, and then you'll flip through your journal, and then you're going to have the opposite colour there. And it's just, it's nice, you know, it works out nice. You've just got to, like me, you've just got to think about it for a long time. Because, yeah, it's one of those things that makes me go cross-eyed. So now we've got our basic stuff done, you know, we've basically done it. We've got our one pocket, our gatefold. Oh, I didn't put the ink on there, no worries, I can still do that. Then you open it up, we've got our big pocket, we've got our little pocket, and then we've got the same on the other side. So there we go. And it's just a cute, a lovely cute little thing. And I think once that's in a journal, you imagine this is your journal. Once that's in, you're opening your journal pages, opening your journal, and you come to this and it's like, it's something really interesting, and you've got lots of little pockets and lots of little bits, and then you get to see this beautiful paper as well. Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed. So let's do a bit of decorating. So we'll start off. I want to get these tags. Now I'm going to just use these as tags because they're just, the paper's beautiful, and you don't have to decorate everything. I want these just to be tags that I put in, so I'm not going to bother decorating them. These are just purely there for decoration themselves, you know. And then I'm going to put some other pieces of ephemera in. Now again, I'm going to go opposites with the pocket. You will have that the same, but that's fine because, you know, it's still going to look really pretty and it's going to give you that continuity as well. You could, if you wanted to, if you've got a series of paper and you've got a fifth colour, you could also use the fifth colour to do the decoration, and that way you're going to have lots of different, you know, the same patterns, the same colour palette, but different like differences in the patterns and that. So that's them. Just put the lid on my glue, and I am going to go through some of my ephemera because I've got little bits and pieces everywhere, and I'm going to find some pieces. Now you can see on this has got a certain style to it, so I think I've got some of these cards. I want to use the ones with similar colours. So let's see, these are all the ones that have got period clothes. Let's see if I can find another purple. There we go. There we are. Now they're perfect, same kind of thing. I'm also, while I've got this ephemera folder out, I'm going to get these little tab tops. Now I've got these from Artsology, I think. I want to say Artsology. I think so. I'll leave a link, and I'm going to keep them out because I'm going to give these a quick ink and pour in. I haven't covered the back because it's got the information on about the dress and, you know, the period it comes from and all that kind of good stuff. So that's a nice piece in there. I forgot to do the back of this one. And these are just little tea cards. You used to people used to collect them when they bought the tea. See, straight away you can see how that's going to come together. Now the reason I got these out is because on this one I've put some little tabs on there, and that just helps to keep it closed, but it also makes it easier for you to open it up. But I think on this one I might change my mind and I might do something a bit different. So you know what, I'm going to put these tabs back because I've changed my mind already. That's the way it goes, isn't it? And I'm going to get, let me see if I can find a nice piece of paper. Let's get my actually I want card, not paper, so I'm going to have a look. I've got a tin, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to grab it. This is my tin and it's got like scrapbook paper in. So I'm going to choose some bits of scrapbook paper, if I can find any. I want something that's going to be similar, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but something that's going to have continuity. Now, I don't think there's anything in there. This is the problem when you've got too many pieces of paper lying about. It just seems, the scraps just never seem to get any less. I get more and more and more all the time. You can never actually downsize. There's nothing in there, so let's put that one back. And we've got some more. Let's see if I can find some. What I'm looking for, what I've changed my mind for, is because I want to do some little circles, and then I think it'll look pretty. So let's get another bag out. There we go. Okay, let's have a look. We want something with a little bit of, that's not big enough. Am I the only one who has this scrap problem? I know I'm not. I know you all those crafters out there who are watching, you all got the same problem as me. Too many scraps. Too many pieces of card and bits and pieces. There's a nice piece, but oh, it's paper, so that won't work. No. I know I've got some in here. I was just trying to find them. Got loads of bits and pieces lying around. That might work. That might work. Okay. I don't wonder if I'll get enough out of it, but it might work. Let's just put that back. Right. Circles. I'm going to cut some circles. I need 4. Will I get 4? I don't think I will. I don't think so. We can try. Just ever so slightly. There we go. Right. Okay. Oh, that one's too small. Okay, so we got 2 out of it. I'll find some more card when I'm finished, because I only need to do this on one to show you what I mean. So I am simply going to put these on and then maybe use a piece of thread or something to go around it. So let me find a split pin, if I can find a split pin. I did have some. I bet you I can't find one now. After all that. After all that, I won't be able to find one. Okay. Oh, where have they gone? Right. I'm going to call it. I can't find them, so we're going to do the tabs instead. Let's get the tabs out again. But you could put the circles on. I mean, you know how to do it. You would just attach them with a split pin there, and then you would have a piece of string to go around, and that would look pretty as well. I'm gonna stick with the tabs. So let's find something that's going to look good. It's a possibility. Nope. Some of these are absolutely gorgeous, and well, they're all gorgeous, but some of them are just perfect. You know, you can just go through them and you'll find the ones that are perfect for what you're working on. Sometimes it takes just a little bit longer just to look through them. I'm looking for any that's got a bit of purplish on. That's okay. Right, so let's put these away. I like you, and I like you. Okay. I like a little bit of contrast in these because, you know, it makes them obvious that that the tabs, really, basically, because if you have them too similar, you know, sometimes they get lost in the piece. So it's always good, especially if you're going to decorate the piece, that you have a little bit of contrast going on. So where's my tacky glue? So I've been carrying on with the wild swimming, which has been fun, the cold water swimming. I've got to say, like, it's been difficult. It's been very difficult. I'm finding it hard to go in. Once I'm in, I love it. I absolutely adore it, and it's great, and I'm in for however long. But I've really been struggling with getting in the cold water. And I've been doing the breathing exercises, the Wim Hof breathing exercises, and it helps. It really does help. But yeah, it's been tough, and it's normally I'm the first one in. Normally, you know, I just run in and it's great. But yeah, it's been a bit tough this time. I'm still doing it though because I'm enjoying it, and it's a fun thing to do. And it's very good for your health as well. So there's our tabs. Now they're not going to keep it closed They will encourage it to stay down, but you know, the more just for opening it up and for decoration really, because you know, it looks nice decorated. Right, I like you and you, and they're a matching pair. Great. That one's being folded. I think the water temperature is colder this year than it was last year. I don't know if that's just psychologically because it always feels that that'd be colder, but yeah, it doesn't, the sea just does not feel as warm as it was last year. I wonder if that's why the dolphins have been coming in so close, because yeah, they're not normally in this close. Sometimes we see them in the river because the river mouth is obviously in the bay. But yeah, I'm just wondering if it's because, yeah, things are a bit colder this year. And we haven't had the jellyfish. Because if you remember last year, if you've watched me for a while, you remember last year we had the jellyfish that were just everywhere. And we couldn't go swimming because there was too many jellyfish. They haven't been here this year. I'm just wondering if it's because the sea's been that little bit colder. Either way, it's been hard to go in. I mean, a couple of people have said, well, why don't you get a wetsuit? The thing is, I'm doing it because I want the cold water therapy, and a wetsuit just it just doesn't work out because you're not getting the full benefits of it. So yeah. If it stays this cold, I think I'll give in and get a wetsuit. Right, so that's that. Now, the only thing left to do would be to decorate it. I'm not going to do that on camera because I think this is running a bit long anyway. I'll put a few more pieces of ephemera in just to show you, you know, your pockets and things. But then when it comes to decorating, again, it's purely and simply up to you. Let's see, what have we got? That's a cute one. These I got out of a book, and they're just they're the covers of The Good Housekeeping from years and years ago. I like you, you're the right colours. So let's get you a little bit distressed. And they make lovely little journal cards because they're blank on the back. So she can sit in there. Actually, I might put you in that way so you're just peeking out. And then we'll turn this over and we'll choose one for the other side. Do I have any more? Oh, I don't want that one. That one's a nice one. We'll go with that one. Cutesy little kiddies. And just have that peeking out there. And then let's see, what other pieces do we have? I've got quite a few bigger pieces. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so these are out of a nursery rhyme book, and they're just too cute. So I'm just going to stick one of these in the big pockets. And again, these are just pieces of ephemera. I like pieces like this. It's just a piece that's interesting and pretty, and if you wanted to, you could cover up one side of it and have it as a journal card. You know, that's the beauty of these journals. If you don't like the way somebody's done it, then change it to the way that you want it, and have it the way that you want it. So obviously, whichever journal this goes into, the person who gets it can decide to make these into journal cards if they want to, or just keep them as nice pieces of ephemera. And I like that. Right, so let's open you up. And we're going to pop these in, making sure not to go too far in. And I like to leave them so they're just peeking out. Because obviously, you know, this is not yet closed, but it will be when we put it into the signature. There we are. And then you can put as much stuff in here as you want. You could fill this with some more stuff. I mean, on this one, I've got lots of little pieces in here. This is from an old book that I've cut out. This is another piece of journaling paper that I love the colour, and I just used a corner cutter on it, and then this is again from an old book, so you can put in as much as you want. And then on here I've got these little notelets, which are vintage notelets that I got from a vintage shop, and the good thing is that they open up completely, so you've got a full sheet of paper there, and then it's just a nice little notelet. And then these are bridge cards. They come from a game. I bought a box because I wanted the cards, and I didn't realise that it had the padding as well. Just tear them out and use them as a journaling card, because they're great, because on one side they're completely blank but you can see the aging on them, and then on the other side you've got these lovely lines, and you can decorate them if you want. So there you go, that's basically what they are, what I've made, and I think that they'll look great inside of any journal really. And it's a great way of using up your papers and showcasing them and making them look really pretty, and you know, just having something different in your journal, because sometimes I think just putting a piece of this paper in, yes, it looks beautiful, but it doesn't really do much for the paper itself, whereas this I think really showcases it, really makes something of it, and it's perfectly like itsy bitsy tuck and like secrets and little places and spots, and I just love that. I just love it. So I hope you give this one a try. It's fun to make, and you know, if you've got these 8x8s, or if you cut down some papers to 8x8, you know, if you've got some printables and you cut them down, you know, it's just a great way to use your papers, and you could make loads of these and have them waiting to go into whatever journal you're going to be working on next. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and do pop a comment down below and tell me if you like these, and if you think they're a good idea, and yeah, have fun crafting, and take care and stay safe. Happy crafting. Bye.